Yeah, hello everyone. So my name is Sharia, and I hope so you guys know me well. And with me today we have Dr. Limon actually, and Dr. Limon is my friend and also my study partner. I mean, in my MC journey. So our the destination and the goal that went in a little different direction actually. I mean, his one was I guess the more right one in terms of the making the career, become the doctor in Australia, and all these things. Yeah, so and you can see by his colorful slides and things, you'll definitely love it. And at the same time, he's a dear friend as well. And if I introduce him, actually, so many things to add. Previously, I was to say he's a register in Melbourne, and currently, he's also in working as a GP. So there's so many things actually in terms about Limon to share actually. So Dr. Limon, if you just turn off your screen for a second, I want to share something first with them. Yeah, so I'll just take out the screen, okay, for a second actually. Great.
Oh,
So I'll be just sharing my screen for a second. I mean, before we start, actually, because you will not always find Dr. Limon. Actually, thanks for your precious time, Dr. Limon. And as we mentioned about his position and all these things in Australia. He's doing really, really well. Actually, he has also not only getting the job, and I know he's so hardworking, and he managed to enter as like emergency medical officer. Then he become registered. Now he has become GP, and he has also secured the PR actually. So starting with that one, Dr. Limon, how are you? I mean, if you can hear me.
oh yeah, I can hear you. Thank you so very much. I'm not that way. I've been introducing you. I've been very kind, but I haven't done anything like that.
And I
Um,
admire you, and
yeah.
you're a dear friend, dear study partner at the same time. So many stories we have. The beginning of
Oh yeah,
MC
we have so
journey
many stories.
to yes, all these things actually. All right.
To be
So
honest, I
as I
still
said,
miss the food that we have that we share at your
yeah,
house.
we had fun actually. Yeah, we had so many fun actually. Even see, I mean, you all must be knowing like during journey you will meet a lot of friends and this that so many stories to share. And yeah, so I remember like Limon also used to come to my house sometime when we started studying. Actually, my mom is also very fond of him as well. So and sometimes used to go to the library. Things started in that way. So gradually, then I think I remember Limon moved to Australia with a basic subject like a master's actually. So he was quite a desperate to move, like So and I remember his word that uh, okay, like whatever will happen. Like I will give it a shot. And he had a government job with him. In spite that, he moved actually with a master's certificate, I remember. And then, by the time he did already his MC part one, after going there, I think he finished his MC part two. I hope so I'm correct actually with the informations.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right.
Yes, and
Absolutely.
now his family also moved, and now he's happily living there ever after. It was like a good, uh, good story as well. Okay, so not every day we'll find Dr. Limon in that way. So since I got the chance, I mean, it's quickly to ask actually, who is the right person to give this kind of suggestion and the tip. So, so Limon, I think if you uh, give people like a top five tips, actually, I mean, you can also introduce yourself and then you can go with that one. I mean, so if you just give a top five tips to these IMGs, actually, many I think look forward to you. Yes. So, what you want to add, actually?
Yeah, that's all right. Making five special I mean tips. It's very difficult when in terms of jobs. Anyway, but the first and foremost tip it should be keep looking where the hospitals are. Talk to them. This is the most important thing. So what I used to do, I can share with you guys. Like before I start that, I'd like to quote one of my friends. Very important tip that really helped me out. She was one of our study partner, not study partner, we used to study together. She used to tell me one thing: if you really want a job, and if you are very committed to that, you can have in 6 months. You do not have to try more than 6 months to get a job, and it worked on me. It really worked on me. So first thing what I need to do is keep a list of all the medical hospitals available, and keep applying, whether it's email, whether calling. Maybe sometimes they feel a bit awkward, they feel a bit not welcomed. Their conversation will not be a lot welcomed, but still you keep doing that because you need a job. And if they need people, they'll give you a job. That's the most important thing. Second thing is your CV resume. Just need to make a very, very good and clear CV and resume. And every day, every time you apply for it, just need to change your resume and cover letter, because the most important thing, and the thing you need to change in your resume is what they want, what their job description is. So every time they post a job, they'll post a job description in there. Make sure that you are putting all these tips and tricks, or all these key points in your CV. That's how they make you shortlisted. So think of a job advertisement. They normally advertise, and hundreds and hundreds people apply for that. So they do not have time to read all those resumes and CVs. And normally the computer that's shortlisted all these things. So how do they shortlist this? The key points that they post in the job description. So this is very important to read the job description very, very carefully, and pick all these key points and put all these key points in your CV, so that your CV gets very shortlisted. And if you're lucky, you'll get a job interview. And if you get a job interview, that means your chance of getting job is 50%. So this is very important to make sure that you're reading job description very, very carefully, putting all these key points into your CV and in your cover letter, so that you get shortlisted. Once you get shortlisted, if you get invited for an interview, they will never ask you all these very difficult questions. They will ask you very, very common questions like chest pain, dizziness. Those were which will be the very, very common presentation in emergency or in the hospital. Definitely, we can help with that. Anyone gets interviewed, just feel free to ask us, so we can have a session, one-on session, so that we can work on that for sure. Um, in terms of jobs, so basically, other things you need to do is, as I said, make a list, and make sure that the list should be done in according to the states. Make sure you have all
Limon,
this all this.
if I cut down, sorry for cutting down the flow. How long are the, like, because most of them are new, maybe many of them never attended an interview. So can you tell them that, how long is the duration for these interviews, most cases?
Right, okay. Mostly it depends basically. It should not be very long. If you have a very good preparation at the part two, this is how you present to the interview as well. Mostly one case 5 to 10 minutes. It depends on what sort of questions they ask, and how much time they have for you, and how many candidates in the same day.
And
But
yeah,
mostly
so
you'll have
basically
five
the
to ten minutes time.
suggestion, they should keep working on the interview question. And is there any sources for the interview questions? Like, we have book sources, this sources, that sources. So is any, like, particular any resources for interview questions? Some forums are helpful. I mean, as far as we know, like there's
Okay.
some forums, some people share those. Some people also, we use the search engine in some groups to find out the hospital names actually. But is there any particular, uh, like a resource for these interview questions actually?
That's a very, very good question. So basically, there's a Facebook group called Pakistani Doctors Group or something like that. So There you'll find a
Yeah,
lot of questions, especially
yeah,
interview
yeah,
questions. You have everything, anything and everything you need. Like if you really really just review a couple of maybe months of job interview questions, definitely you'll have all those things. And particularly it has all the hospitals interview questions. And you'll see so many people has been posting after the interview. So keep an eye on Pakistani
yeah.
this
Some,
doctors
yeah.
group.
So that group is good, and like
Yeah,
the good thing about like that group, I think someone is also some people are also answering those are doing job in Australia.
that's
So
right.
some people also answer back. Actually, I mean, if it's a genuine question, someone is working in a
Mm.
similar hospital will also answer the
Yeah, that's
questions
right.
actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
that's the thing. And for more notes, I mean, those of our academic students, if you are already connected to our video channel library, we have a album section. You can just go and check out the interview questions as a compilation. I have like different hospital questions I have posted, but please understand year wise it can be changed. It's better to ask in some forum, ask some friends who already have been applied in some hospital, what is the recent trending question, what is that questions more asked in those hospitals. So you can go in that way, right, Limon? I think that's the maximum thing I think to know, I guess, about the interview,
One
and
more
keep
thing
working
before
on
you
your
before
interview preparation. Yeah.
the one more thing you before you go to interviews, need to have a very good look on the hospital, the demography of the hospital, and what sort of presentation that the hospital had. What sort of hospital is it? A tertiary hospital? Is it a rural hospital, or what sort of hospital? What sort of presentation does it have? So these are the things makes a lot of big impression when you sit for the interview in front of the interviewers.
Right. So that's a nice tip. And if we go to the tip number 4 of the interview, what it would be?
And tip number four, it should be confident. If it's okay to make mistake, but if as long as you know that um, that you are not making upset to the examiners, you'll get the job. That's the other things. So never think you need
I
to
would
be
like to
perfect in
add
the
one
interview.
thing. I would like to add one thing. I'm not sure Lemon will agree with that one or not. The list we have and the email we collected, and the plan we made. Uh,
Mhm.
because initially when you were applying, they may not have that the job available. So you should keep reapplying on those hospitals and have the same connection with those HR, right, Lemon? I think so. This is
That's right.
something. Yeah. So this is another thing actually that they reapply. I would say, now this is
That's a
like a
very good,
very
very good
famous
tip.
move. Yeah, yes, please.
That's a very good tip. So what happened in my first job? I got my first job in one of the metropolitan hospitals in Queensland. So I applied my job while I had my part one. So they said they're not taking any applicants with the part one. Then when I cleared my part two, I said, okay, look, I have cleared my part two. Do you have any job position? There's no formal job opening for this hospital on that time, but they had a position open. They said, okay, you cleared your part to come and join with us. It's as simple as this is.
See?
So it's very
Yes.
important.
Yeah.
Keep on
So
trying.
I
Keep on,
think we
keep on
call it
trying.
pooling system actually. Sometimes, we use a term like like a job pool. It means that, you apply and you have your own circuit and the circles where you are applying. Like remember the HR and this hospital, this, that. Like you'll get to know these things actually. And eventually,
That's right.
again, in one campaigning, if it's not working, then in another campaigning, you can have another try. You remember this hospital has this, that. Yeah, so that's the thing. And tip number 5, if I think most of
Tip
us
number
are
five should
here
be,
as, yes,
yeah,
please, Limon.
should say have a subscription to the all the hospitals, especially in Victoria, all the hospitals specifically
Okay.
at this
Subscription.
Queensland. Go to the hospital's website, do a subscription, and you'll be the
Mhm.
one who will get all the job notification. If you get job notification, make sure that you are the first one who will apply for the job. Your application will be the first one who will go up when there's a job available to any places. Because if you
Are
apply
you, are you
the
talking about the Indeed.com or those, job like the other 3, 4 websites? That subscription are you talking about?
no, I'm talking about the hospital subscription, not the job
Oh yeah,
website
okay, yeah,
subscription.
the main hospital ones. Yes, yes, I got it.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. You're right. So that so email has a big thing to play. I mean, guys, please make sure that another tip I can give you, you should have a separate email for this because your regular day-to-day banking email and this that uh, things can be messed up. So that one you give as a high priority. That another email, maybe you can use even another device even for that one. Quick checking the email all the time, actually, if necessary. That would be another very
And better to
useful
have
thing,
a
actually.
Gmail account. Better to have a Gmail account, because otherwise, if another because most of the people over here, they prefer Gmail. If you have
Yeah,
another subscription, all those things, it might take a bit delay, but Gmail is very quick here in Australia, so always been
yeah,
better.
exactly. Yeah. Can we add a last anything tip five?
Tip
Other than
five.
being confident and all this thing, English speaking abilities and this particular things, actually, it's also very important. We can add that part in the interview and this that like, of course, press interview speaking abilities. Those things will be monitored definitely. Anything else we are missing as a, like, can we add that one as a tip five?
Be very clear and do not get panic. That I'd
Mm,
say, because for IMGs, sometimes what happens if the native speakers they speak a bit quicker, and sometimes their accent is very difficult to understand. So in that case, do not get panic. You be precise, clear, and slow. And if you do not understand them, ask them, would you please repeat? That's all you need.
so you can say that one is a, like a judgment day.
Yeah.
So in judgment day, don't panic, actually, so don't panic. All right.
And
Great.
keep in mind that this is not the end of your career. This is not the end of anything. So you miss this, you still have a lot of issues, and this is a good experience if you even miss. It will help you for the next one.
It's always so. How many interviews it take for you actually to eventually get into the
To
job?
get my to get my first job, I did the first one. I didn't have to
First
go
one.
for a lot of interview. But the second one, I got a couple of interviews. I got rejected 2 to 3. Then yeah, second interview, I had to I probably applied 5 of them. I got two jobs and I get rejected 3. So I took the one I really liked in Victoria. The
Yeah,
third
yeah,
time,
yeah.
third
Because you
round,
were living there, in past,
yeah,
so you come
yeah.
back to your own place. Actually, it's common in Australia. Where you start, you always love to be there. Actually,
Yeah. In my third, I got 5. So altogether, the first one is typical. Second one is depends on how long you work. The third one later on, anyway you want to work. There are a lot of shortage of doctor here in Australia. So very good chance, very good time to start as a doctor here in Australia.
people believe that one, actually, that Australia is also still need a lot. It's actually no, they need the
A
right
lot of
people,
doctors.
actually, because they will keep it empty
Mm,
if necessary.
that's
But
right.
they wait for the right, the doctor and the right position, actually. So this is very, very important. So I
And
guess.
you'll be
So I
surprised to
think
know that there's because the pay is pretty good here in Australia.
pay scale
So
is very good.
there's
Yes.
so many English, Irish, and Scottish doctors that practice over here. They work here a couple of years, make money, do not pay the tax, go home and enjoy the life, and start their fellowship in there.
Mm, yes. Right. So how's going your from that preparation of FRS CGP, actually, like initially you started the emergency, then the medical officer, then you become the registered, and you're still at the register, but you also came to the GP thing now, actually. So what makes you think
Yeah.
to come to GP?
Yeah.
I know the answer.
If I was in my
I'm not
25,
looking
I
like
go
an
for
interviewer actually today.
That's okay. Look, if I was in my 25th birthday, I'd go for a big fellowship, but definitely I'm not as young as a lot of people here. Um, so considering my family and other things, I decided to be a GP, and I want to work in ED as well, so because I have experience for a couple of years. I worked as a night in charge in a hospital where I have been working almost 3 years.
Yeah, you did a lot of locum, I know.
And beside this, I work as yeah. I work as a GP for 3 days and I work in ED for 2 days. That's what I do.
Yeah. So Limon, just to give them a little idea about that, how much someone can earn in a one locum duty actually. Sorry for this
Right.
question.
It really depends. It really depends. So
It
basically, if
depends
you're
on
night in
hospital,
church,
yeah,
you look
hours,
for
yeah,
200.
yes.
Yeah, yeah. If you work as a night in a
Night in
hospital,
church.
you can think of 200 to $300 per hour if you are experienced.
Mm, mm, mm.
And
So
it's
they
a
will
10 to 11
they
hours.
will count you as an experience now, right? Like with like currently 2 3 years of already working in Australia, they will count you as an experience now, right?
Yeah, it also depends on how much responsibility you want to take. Because if you are a night in charge, you have to look after the interns, you have to look after the junior doctors, and you have to make the decision. Anything happens, it's on your responsibility. So everything comes. They'll pay you more money if you take more responsibility.
Right. Yeah. So that's a good thing. I mean, like 200 $300 per hour, and if it's say like 8 hour shift, so you all can imagine, it's quite a handy amount. So I think that's the thing. I think because of this pay scale, I think many wants that life in Australia. I'm sure actually. So that's the
But
thing.
also,
There will be
again,
definitely
if
a
you,
taxing thing,
again,
but still it's a good pay. I know because I talk to Limon all the time. So it's a good pay scale in Australia, definitely.
no, I pay 47% tax. So it looks like it's a lot of money, but at the end of the day,
Yeah.
you just live yourself, as a worker.
Yeah. No, it's just because your income goes high, the tax goes high because many started with 40, so time progresses, it can be 50% as well, actually. So that's the common thing in Australia. So, anyways,
Yeah.
that's how thing goes on, and it's still, many do have great life. I can see. I mean, I'm in touch with many of my students in past, actually. Like, as far as I know, like from my academy, like over I think 600 now working actually. So different times we have chit chat and this that. So one thing everyone tell is about the quality of life is excellent. I think which Limon might be also feeling the same actually. The quality of life is great actually in Australia. So people
I agree with
respect
that.
and yeah, yeah, right. All right, so I think it's time to go back to our original actually, and thank you, Dr. Limon, for this job related